There's a lot of misconceptions about farming today, and I covered many of those in Food Truths from Farm to Table, which provides 20 different myths essentially in the grocery store. And some of the myths are about antibiotics and hormones and GMOs. I would say that the top two issues are unquestionably animal welfare and genetically modified organisms. So, in animal welfare, many people believe that their dog is equitable to my cow. And one of the things that I say over and over, my cow is not your dog. And it's not the same standards. And if you get on a farm, you will see that animals are cared for in very science based ways, and ways that drive on or rely on a farmer's understanding of their cattle. For example, barns. Many people believe that barns are evil. Well, I can tell you with absolute certainty that barns keep animals out of mud, they keep them out of huge temperature swings. And if you've ever dealt with animals when it's 95 degrees and 90% humidity, you know how important it is to have them in a controlled environment. It also allows us to provide the cattle and the animals with diets that we can closely monitor, that, believe it or not, they're actually evaluated at more points of nutrition, particularly in dairy cattle, than what human beings are. So the barn facade sometimes looks negative, but it is unquestionably the best thing for animals, which you'll see if you get out on a farm yourself. The second issue that I would say is driving a great deal of the conversation is GMOs today. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misperception. One study from Jason Luskout at Oklahoma State University showed that 75% of consumers think that food needs to be labeled if it has DNA in it. Many people laugh at that, but I think that really shows the scientific illiteracy that we're dealing with today in modern society. And we have to help people understand that they do not need to fear their food, and they do not need to fear issues such as biotechnology. If people had a greater scientific understanding that yes, all of their food has genes in it, yes, even their kale has hormones in it, then we would perhaps have a better chance of having a more peaceful conversation. I can tell you as a mom, I'm a big advocate of science, I'm a big advocate of technology, and I happen to believe strongly that we need to teach our children about all the facets of science and technology. And I think it's really critical that if you're holding something like the latest and greatest iPhone in your hand, but yet you're questioning technology in the grocery store, that perhaps it's time to learn a little bit more in the technology around your food, because it's actually pretty cool.